Yeah, welcome to Dorset Art Weeks 2014, and particularly to the exhibition entitled Glimpsing Wholeness at Othona, West Dorset. We're just entering the chapel of the Othona community, transformed for this fortnight into an art gallery. And let's look first at a large-scale work, an installation created specially for this space and this event by Mart Tebbs. Mart has known this building for decades and created this work entitled Sticks and Stones, specially for Dorset Art Weeks and for this chapel. It's acrylic paint on large pieces of packing paper. Most of Mart's work is in coloured pencil, or, as with this piece, in Conte and chalk. And then there's a number more of Mart's pieces, trying to avoid too many of the reflections as I wander around here, so as you can see the works. Mainly derived from landscape. Moving on from Mart Tebbs, we come to Emma C. Tabor. And Emma's works were originally encountered here at Othona simply as black ink on white paper, as with these two here. And if I go a little bit closer, you can see how her really meticulous penmanship draws the eye in. But Emma's practice has developed to printmaking as well. And we have here a number of her really vibrantly coloured prints. These are based again on drawings. This series of 3 illustrate how just using 3 or 4 basic drawings and layering them differently, she creates unique screen prints using a different selection of colours, rotating the drawings by 90 degrees sometimes, and coming up with very different effects, all from the same original shapes. Let's step into the library. Usually a mass of books, but now transformed to a gallery. And particularly in here we're looking at textile art by Elizabeth Sayers. Elizabeth dyes her own silks for this work, and many of her threads, and the landscapes are built up with the back layers usually machine stitched, and then hand stitching of various sorts for the nearer details. Now, when Elizabeth lived in Windsor, her walking and her sketching was largely in quite dense woodland, but now that she's based in Dorset, the images are often of the more open countryside and the coast. Here are a couple of favourite studies of reeds in water. Our final 2 artists in this Glimpsing Wholeness exhibition are both photographers, and the aspects of wholeness they're particularly interested in have to do with our perceptions of masculinity. Tiernan Philpott, a young man who graduated last year with a first-class degree in photography, had this series entitled We Are Men Alone as part of his degree work. What he's trying to do is capture something of young men's perceptions of themselves in contrast to the images often expected of them in the media and elsewhere. His work is complemented here by a second photographer, Robin Shaw, a woman and some 30 years his senior, but Robin also interested in our perceptions of masculinity. And she particularly, in her work, is about viewing tenderly parts of the male body that often we don't see portrayed in this way. This light box is entitled Rosy Balls. And this compilation of 9 photos is called Hands. Robin also has photos showing on a computer screen throughout the day, gradually cycling through a series of photos called the Loving Man series. Finally, we move back to 3 more of Tin and Philpott's We Are Men Alone pictures. And thank you for joining me on this quick walk round. For those who've not been able to be with us in person this year at Dorset Art Weeks 2014 at Othona, West Dorset.